Hey, I'm Julia, and I'm going to draw my life. Well, actually, no, not really. I'm going to talk about myth within the internet, and what better way to do that than with a YouTube video? The word myth isn't unheard of. You all probably have a pretty basic idea of what a myth is. You've all probably heard at least one famous myth like King Arthur and his sword, or the Great Flood, or the existence of dragons. Those are all some pretty common ancient myths. However, myths are still pretty popular in today's world. Even though they're a lot different than the full-out stories and fables of the ancient world, we still hear myths about aliens, mermaids, time travel, and more. Let's back up a little though. Even though we've all heard myths, what exactly is the definition of a myth? Well, the official dictionary definition of myth is a widely held but false belief. Another definition says, an exaggerated or idealized conception of a person or thing. However, I don't really agree with this definition 100%. Yeah, myths can be exaggerated, but who's to say it's flat out false? Let's focus on the mythic worldview for now. A worldview is a particular way or philosophy in which someone sees the world. So basically, the mythic worldview is using these myths, consciously or not, to shape our lives. One thing about myths is that they're universal. That means that no matter where you are in the world, people usually believe in about the same myths. Stories like the Great Flood, for example, are found in many different cultures, such as Christianity, Native American legends, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and more. Religion itself can be tied in with this. Think about all the common monotheistic religions, all believing in one God. All those beliefs developed on their own, but they all contain similar stories. Now, think about how that relates to the internet. The internet is about as universal as it gets. Billions of people logging on every day, countries apart, connected in a brand new way. Think of how fast a message can get here from here to China, thanks to the internet. Anyone can post anything on the internet. People can blog, tweet, and share their ideas just about anywhere on the web, and they can be just about anything. Usually, their posts are just viewed by friends or family checking up on them. But when something spreads and becomes viral, it really spreads, like wildfire. Internet myths are spread when audiences find them either believable or entertaining. Modern-day internet myths can take the form of celebrity tabloids, photoshopped pictures, fake news stories, and more. If people choose to believe in a myth, odds are they're going to share their thoughts about it in some digital way. This brings up another characteristic of myth, that people are able to pick and choose what myths they believe in and live by. Whether you choose to believe in a certain story or idea or not is completely up to you. That's exactly how it worked in ancient times. Stories in ancient Greek, Mayan, Egyptian mythology, and more were passed down because people chose to believe in the stories, were entertained by them, and shared them with their families or friends, by word of mouth mainly. Because of that reason, we still know these stories today. Do you see the parallel between this and internet myths now? Some internet myths seem so believable, and they get reblogged, retweeted, shared on Facebook, texted, emailed, you name it. Soon the world is taken by storm from this thing that someone probably just created as a joke out of boredom. Although this probably wasn't the reason that some of the most important ancient myths exist, the way that they are spread is very similar, but on a much larger scale. Rather than be passed around your tribe or country by word of mouth, these myths are passed around the entire World Wide Web at the speed of light by just a click of a button. And when something is put on the internet, you know that it's there forever. Think of some of the internet myths you've seen. You've probably heard about different celebrities dying on the internet when they're perfectly fine and probably just taking a break from posting for a little bit. Or think of all those chain letters you used to get by email or whatever, saying that how if you don't forward this to 10 people, some haunted girl from an attached, obviously photoshopped picture will attack you at midnight. But the biggest myth of all that contributes to all of these people believing in these hoaxes is that the internet always tells the truth. Think about it. You see anything in a neat-looking font with some credible-looking pictures and a few quotations thrown in there, and for some reason, since it's online, you trust it. Why do so many people believe in the myth that the internet is completely credible, no matter where you end up on the web? People lie all the time in real life, so magically, there's supposed to be no lies on the internet? At sounds ridiculous when I say it, but I'm sure you've believed at least one phony thing in your life just because you saw it online somewhere. People want so badly for one thing to be completely credible and reliable, and then they put way too much faith in the internet. It's just too good to be true. But yet, the myth lives on. So, to wrap things up, myths are universal, timeless, and can be chosen to be believed in or not. And this philosophy still exists today with things like internet hoaxes and other myths that originate online. Although these myths aren't necessarily spread by word of mouth through close friends anymore, the mythic worldview still lives on through the World Wide Web and all of the people on it making it happen. Thanks for watching!